What's up, everyone? NanMan here, and we've got a different set of games for you today. This is going to be a Control versus Martyr Life matchup here. Um, so I'm really interested to see how things work out with this. It's going to be a long one, if you guys didn't tell from clicking on it, because it anytime you see kind of a draw go deck going against each other, it's gonna be a bit grindy, bit long, and we're gonna be seeing that here for this matchup today. Now, I just listed it as Control. It in my brain it's more blue white Control, but the way things are right now, it's more of just a Control list. It runs more than just blue white spells in here. It runs more than just blue white lands. So I just listed it as Control. Now, if you are not familiar with the Martyr Life deck, this is like the Martyr of Sands deck that exists. And it's very different than like the old school versions of like Soul Sisters that used to kind of do something similar to this, but it has similar ideas in mind to it. So we're going to kind of go through and talk a little bit about it, but it's going to be a lot of just kind of land pass from these players early on here as we kind of, the control matchups are fun to play. They're very challenging because it's a lot of that, like, who's going to commit first to the resource battles here. All right, so there is access, of course, to green in this Martyr of Life deck. It is not mono white, even though it is very heavily in the white department. So we will be seeing a little bit of surveillance happening. There's something in the graveyard here. Land go. Yeah, so, the threats that are available for the players in this matchup are very different than some of the threats that we've seen in some of the previous matchups that we've been watching on stream and on the videos for you all to be able to enjoy as we've been going through. It's going to be kind of very just kind of limited threats until one can stick, and then it's going to go far, is usually the way that things work out with this here. But looks like we'll start things out, get some scry 2, draw a card. Yep, and then just sort of kind of pass. Field of Ruin, which is nice. Can kind of help mess up our opponent that's going for like a 5-color control list. We say 5-color control. I mean, he basically gets access to all the mana with the triomes here. Which one's he going to blow up? Yeah, float a blue, probably. Or, like you always float a mana if you can. But we'll just go get a basic planes from both players off of this. Which I'm not sure how many basics the control list is running. At least a couple. There are quite a few Blood Moon based decks that are running around our shop, so it's like everyone's kind of in that like mindset of maybe we need a few extra basics. But here we go, Thraben Inspector coming out, making a clue. Of course, just a little 1/2 dude that can help you by letting you draw some cards. I think we had some issues with these players of some of their lands or some of their cards getting mixed up with each other's decks a little bit there because they're like running the same sleeves or something. Hollowed Fountain. Yeah, I guess he was debating about, do I care about it being untapped or not? And so, all right, we'll go to 18. Now they are, the life total didn't change up there. but they are keeping track of their life total on paper, so there might be some slight discrepancies with the life total up on screen here. All right, so here's the Martyr Sands, namesake of the deck. You reveal a bunch of white cards, sack it, gain 3 times X life. Yeah, so you're running basically just a mono white package in here that you get to utilize. But we'll try to do a reprieve here, which is basically remand but white. Turn it to your hand, draw a card. We try to see a Teferi get stuck because we're in this like, all right, who's going to stick a threat first, right? We're going to do this little like dance back and forth. All right, here's 2 more damage. Let's poke you to death. Yeah, it looks like their life total was adjusted and fixed up here. What do we blow up? To get rid of the Jeskai land. Yeah, this is another one where, based on our positioning of the shop, we do have a little bit of a glare. Still trying to find the best layout and location for doing recordings, and hopefully to be able to keep bringing you guys some fun and exciting coverage of Modern each week. Yeah, this is another one where it's like, you know, Martyr Sands is great because the way that the deck is designed, it's like, I'm going to just delay as long as possible, gain a bunch of life. I'll play the 1 rings and do these things like that, and then still utilize that life that I've gained to be able to kind of shift gears and go into doing something different here. All right, going to try to get the Teferi to stick this time. Looks like that is the case. This will, of course, help out, be able to kind of prevent our opponent from doing too much on our turn. We'll be able to pop that clue, draw a card. And now kind of in the tank a little bit, debating on where to swing in. Yeah, go any chance you can to weaken some of the Planeswalker is going to be helpful here. Ooh, Skyclave. Nope, let's get that countered. Uptick. Three more mana. All right, Cryptic Coat. So this is a weird card. You get to make like a little 2/2 guy that's unblockable. He basically is a 3/1 or 3/2 or something like that with ward. Like it keeps giving you this ability to swing in and mess with your opponent. Like it adds like a little bit of a clock onto your opponent now. So enters battlefield, cloak the top card of your library, then attach Cryptic Coat to it. Cloak a card, you put it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature with ward 2. You may turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature card, which if you're running a control list, the likelihood its creature is slim to none. But the equipped creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. So it is essentially like a 3/2 with ward 2, and then you could pay 2 to return it to its owner's hand. But again, trying to fight over things here. There's little counterspell battles. You see our special land up at the top here for our Martyr player. That's going to be one that is going to come into play if the game goes long enough, right? You need to have 7 different planes, and then you get to start returning a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. So that is something that you have to be aware of and know that there is a clock set up essentially for these players now. And the Martyrs is just going to stick around basically as long as possible until it needs to. But 3 unblockable coming across. Stoneforge Mystic. let's go find a specific equipment card. So what equipments are we going to be running? Lots of different options here. Looks like Lion Sash as the choice here. Lion Sash, really cool card. It's kind of like a scavenging ooze, but it also has that added bonus to reconfigure and stuff like that. So also having Lion Sash as your equipment is much better than something like Cauldron Complete, because you at least get to use it all the time, right? Whether it gets stuck or bounced or messed with a little bit, you can interact a little bit better. Just kind of keep this clock going. Yeah, this is a weird one where it's just sort of like we're fine with this. Like, okay, Ranger Captain here is coming out. It does add a little bit of extra annoyance, because you can like stop your opponent from casting spells with this one. So, but the main thing, it's like it has an ETB that lets you search for a creature card with a mana cost 1 or less, put it into your hand, and yeah, look, he's going to go find this. One of the reasons why we run green is because then we get this stupid little bug here, this artifact might that you can pay 1 green, sacrifice to destroy an artifact or enchantment there. So he's going to be utilizing this as a way to try to get rid of the cloak that is threatening him here. The other option is you could sacrifice it and your opponent can't cast non-creature spells this turn. So he says, I would like to return this to my hand. And he says, here's Lion Sash coming out here. Activating the Stoneforge Mystic. So he can start eating things in the graveyard, which is very relevant when your opponent is trying to bring things back from the graveyard based off of the lands that they have and other effects that they've got there. So that is, of course, still that like 2/2 Ward 2 guy, that little cryptic coat effect that's still there. What is it called? Cloaked creature, I guess. So now they're just kind of stalemated, staring each other down at this point here almost. How many lands are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 planes. You need 7. Field of Ruin still over there, though, which you could mess with your opponent with. All right, let's turn some things sideways. Let's hardcast a Solitude. Let's attempt to target this. He said, I'm going to sack it in response. 3/2 lifelink. I mean, do you force the the sacrifice here, go for the Haywire Might or the Martyrs of Saint. Like, those are the ones that are going to get sacrificed and stuff's going to happen, right? Or do you respond with your own, which looks like is the case, and your opponent can't counter it or do anything out of it? So Solitude's going to flash himself in there, get rid of his opponent's Solitude. Let's start doing some blocking. Block here, block here, block. Yeah, he says, I'll block the Might. And Might's going to... So yeah, I guess they're debating about effects here. Let's do the Martyr real quick. How much life is he going to gain? How many cards is he going to reveal? Because remember, it's 3 times. So reveal 3. Okay. 3, 6, 9. Ranger. Kami. I hate that Kami. Basically prevents you from having to have a combat. So it's so annoying. All right. Martyr of Sands gets eaten in the graveyard. Gain some life. Let's go to damage. Oh, he doesn't use the Might here, actually. Yeah, okay, so that's why he's saving for the Kami. Kami the False Hope, sack it, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Now, when you have the Emeria, 7 more planes, return a creature card from your graveyard, you can essentially just loop it. So every turn, you're going to blanket fog effect every turn. Right? It's like Spore Frogs, that shenanigans people would do with like the Meldrotha decks back for like Commander and stuff like that, if you ever fought those decks. There's more than one way to get back Kami as well in the deck. So we will see nice little, hey, let's blanket. I'm going to fog myself. Or fog effects so you can't deal damage to me. Still only 4 planes, though, so 3 more planes needed. Of course, Field of Ruin will allow him to get an additional one. A lot of mana available for our control player here. But this is the dangerous part, too, of these decks, where it's like, okay, what are we forcing ourselves into here? So another Ranger is going to come out. We're going to attempt to find a 1 cost or force a response here. So Counterspell going to be used. Throw that in the graveyard. Oh, what's that? Temporary lockdown? Yeah, temporary lockdown. Enters the battlefield, exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until temporary lockdown leaves the battlefield. So he just is like, yeah, that's fine. These all go here. Let's send Solitude. Gonna Solitude your Solitude. Yep. Now we're sitting at 27 life to 16. What a game 1. Like, you could see why I wanted to call it a blue-white control list based on the stuff that we're seeing. And it pretty much is a blue-white control list with the Solitudes, Teferis, things like that. But it's because it runs the additional lands, it's not quite exactly a original version of the blue-white. But that, you can't really fault that from where it's at. Now, I don't know if he's got any additional equipments in here because Stoneforge does come back. Oh, I guess we do have an additional cryptic coat. I wonder how many coats he's running. Let's get a plane cycle here, it look like. Send the Eagles of the North to the graveyard. Go get a planes. Let's increase the number of planes we're going to be getting up to here. Yeah, another one of these kind of like draw go positions for these players here. Another temporary lockdown, though, just kind of like let's attempt to delay and buy some time. All right, we're like 20 minutes in, and both players are back to 20 life. But how many planes are we up to now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Subtlety's going to try to come out here and actually just using it more on the a threat to kind of close things out. Let's gain some life. I don't know. Did he lose his life? Maybe not. Maybe he didn't. Here's the cryptic coat coming out again. So remember that is a 2 toughness, ward 2. And we're gonna get up to our 7 here. It looks like leyline binding. So this is why we were talking about of it's control, but not quite blue-white because you want to utilize leyline binding. So yeah, it's just like the board state is just constantly shifting from these players, trying to find and shift gears here. Oh, does he have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? So he has 2 triggers here. Yeah, so Kami is going to come back here, and then we're going to be seeing our Sky Shroud as well. All right. There we go. Let's kind of help blanket it. All right, now I guess they're adjusting and fixing life totals real quick. All right. Oh yeah, this is the point where, like, hey, do you care if I use non-magic related tokens for as the? So we did find out what the uh, uh, other equipments that are in here. So it's like it's control stuff. But yeah, look at this, Spy Family, love it, love to see it. So calls are complete gonna come out here and try to help close the game out, but Kami the False Hope is gonna be trying to put a stop to this. Every turn you get to bring back a creature, and we're going to see 2 creatures coming back. And without the Lion Sash to start eating things from the graveyard, it makes it even harder for you to find a way to stop this. All right, so let's eat Leyline. I'm sorry, I love the Spy Family token there. Let's sack the Kami. No combat damage. How frustrating is that to deal with, huh? I've been on the receiving end of it when I've been playing aggro decks or playing combat based decks, and been like, yep, guess we're doing that now, huh? Temporary lockdown. Let's kind of blanket the field again. 2 triggers coming out. Kami. And we're going to bring Ranger trigger. Looks like we're going to respond to the Ranger Captain. A Leyline Binding. Okay, so we're targeting that from the graveyard. We're going to try to do this. Ranger Captain. Let's go tutor up a 1 cost. Who's that? Novice Inspector? Oh, okay. So it's investigate. Get a clue token, investigate. You know, you get a. It's. Yeah, okay. Redundancy for your Thraben Inspector. I mean, I don't. All right, the One Ring's here now, but I'm trying to sit here and piece together. It's like, where? How are you winning? Like, how are you closing this game out? All right. Here's another redundancy. Abiding Grace. Beginning of your end step, choose 1, gain life, or return a creature card with mana value 1 from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, guess what? Here's 3 different ways to bring back Kami of the Last Hope. So you're really saying, yeah, I'm. My goal here is to prevent you from winning. I don't know if I'm winning it, but I'm going to prevent you from winning it. Yeah, it looks like we'll see our control player scoop it up here and said, okay, that's, yeah. All right, that's fun. We could drag it out maybe, and maybe I could piece something together. I don't know, but I feel like I need some sideboard cards to help me break this stalemate. So we're going to be jumping into game number 2 here. Kind of speed through, we cut through, so you guys don't get to see all the sideboarding because it does take a little bit of time for the players. I will say that lists will be coming in the future. There will be lists, I promise. I'm, as you can hear, still battling with the sickness, so we're working through it, guys. When we are feeling healthy enough, we will return to the LGS and get everybody's awesome deck list for y'all to enjoy, but they are going to be up on Moxfiled. You can see a link down in the description down below. That'll let you know when cool things are going to be happening. All right, let's see. Going to be a lot of that land go at the beginning here as players set things up. Hope you guys have been liking all the control style decks that we've been showing up in Modern lately. We're been trying to show you guys as many different varieties of decks as possible, just to show you how fun Modern is and not just the same decks over and over and over again. Even though you often hear people talk about that, oh my gosh, you only see domain decks, or you only see that. Yeah, but at an LGS level and weekly level, that's not going to be the case. It's not just going to be the same deck over and over again. Yes, there'll be players that this is their deck and they're going to play this deck, and that's how that works. But there's enough variety at an LGS that I'm trying to showcase and show you all just how cool the Modern format can be. All right, land go, land go. Emiria, Sky Ruin, come down tapped. Remember, you need 7 lands for that to become active. Stoneforge Mystic, probably going to go right into getting our Lion Sash, would be my guess, is get that up and running. Oh, Cauldron complete. Let's try to close it out quickly. We got to get into game. Like, we're already down a game, so game 1 took a long time. If we can close the game quicker, we'll be in a better spot here. Solitude actually is going to be the choice here. Let's fight over it, knowing that our opponent was able to get Cauldron and there's no easy way for them to play Cauldron. If we can do this now, it messes them up something fierce. So we'll ship that away, get to be able to exile it, gain him some life, but that is irrelevant. Oh, here we go. Our Grace coming out here. We get a 1 cost back or gain a life every turn there. So, Leyline Binding. Let's just kind of get rid of that. And the battlefield's going to start to get a little bit muddied already. But land or no land that dropped there. So, but we'll just kind of untap pass. Okay, here we go. Let's make sure we tap mana correctly. Let's pop it. Oh, Tishana's Tidebinder. I love this card. Stifle on a stick here, so we get to be able to counter activated abilities. It's 3/2 body, so it does help us out here. We get to start swinging in. Pink, pink, pink. No land drop, though. So still sitting at 4 mana, which, means the whole hand is full of danger but you're limited on how much you get to cast if your opponent can't make their land drops. So, Ranger Captain. Let's go find a 1 cost. Yeah, that makes sense. Run probably additional in the sideboard that we can bring out. Don't want to be able to use it yet because we want to be able to pop it. Attempt to Leyline Binding. Respond, sacrifice it. 3 more damage coming your way. All right, let's try for the Might again, it looks like. Tap for a colorless. There's the Might. Haywire Might. Like to fetch. So yeah, again, back to the kind of land go stage here. Things are looking in favor right now for our control player. But the Might battles are going to make it a little bit more challenging. So we're going to see how long that continues to last for. Here's 3 damage coming your way. Which the life total doesn't really matter when you're playing the Martyr of Life deck. Eventually you're going to stick a Martyr of Sands and be okay. It says let's try to blow up this Leyline Binding here. Ooh, Ephemerate here. Let's blink it. Returns to battlefield under control with rebound. So I'd like to blink this to counter your Haywire Might sacrifice. Response, let's get lost. Destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker's controllers creates a map token. Which is nice to see. So the map, you could sacrifice this. Target creature explores. You can only activate that as a sorcery, but that's a cool little surprise, like, you know, unexpected get lost effect there. Now we can start to see kind of the, all right, you committed to this. Let's see how things work out now that we're basically get our engine up and running now. Now we're starting to return creatures from our graveyard. Five cost means probably a Solitude. Yeah, there's a Solitude. Let's name the bug. Get the Might out of here. Haywire Might. Let's pop it. Let's shoot one of the maps. All right. Shall we explore? Shall we use the map now? Teferi, that's nice. Oh, that's even better. Return our own Leyline Binding to our hand so we can use it again later. Cast Leyline. And probably get rid of that enchantment. Yep. Hidden over in the corner, but we've seen that before. Now we got to use the map. Let's explore. If it's land, goes to your hand. Otherwise, you can put it back on top and put a +1 counter on it. So that will be swinging in for 4. Lifelink. And life totals are going to basically swap here, even out a little bit. Let's pop, draw a card. No more clues. Kill off. It's fine. Ooh, the One Ring. Nice little blanket effect, protected for now. We'll already start drawing some cards. Looking for ways to kind of break the stalemate again, or at least find answers for this 4-power creature. Leyline, let's get rid of the One Ring. Now he still has protection. Even though the ring is gone, there's still protection here, so you do have to be worried about that. Let's try to go find a threat. Stoneforge Mystic. There's still the Cauldron complete in hand, but we're probably going to be looking for ways to interact with the graveyard now. Yeah, Lion Sash is going to be the choice. So things are looking tough for our Martyr of Life player here. He might be jumping into a game 3 unless he could be able to find a way to kind of put himself back in here. So there is currently 3, 4, 5 planes. So we're building up and trying to get up there. Remember, 7 is the number of planes we need for Amiria the Sky Ruin. But that's the downside of the control player sitting here. I'm like utilizing so many resources that it's like, yeah, Martyr of Life deck doesn't really care because they'll just be able to utilize all the resources again a second time from the graveyard. All right. Okay. March of the Underworld Light here. Let's get rid of it and keep delaying your ability to utilize your equipment stuff. There's another One Ring. Let's just do another blanket effect. Draw some more cards. Delay, delay, delay is the name of the game. All right. There's the Lion Sash. One Ring. Pink. Pings for 1. Shout out to the players for helping to keep track of the life total using the little life pad there. Let's draw 2 cards now. We're digging. Like, we're digging deep to try to find something. Battlefield looks a little bit muddy right now, but really the only things that we care about, there's a Solitude out, there's a Lion Sash, the One Ring. Those are the things that matter. Thraben Inspector is technically out on the battlefield. That is less relevant. We don't really care about that right now. There's the Martyr of Sands to kind of help turn the tide here. So remember, you sacrifice it, gain 3 times X life, where you reveal X cards. So if you have a hand full of things, which when you're drawing a bunch of cards off the One Ring, you should be able to have a bunch of things in your hand that you can reveal and gain a bunch of life and equal out and even out to your life total again. And again, that's the name of the game, is especially in this position, if you're up 1-0, if you go to time, that counts as a win. All right. 1-0-1 is still a win for you. 1-1-1, that's a tie for everybody. Everybody gets 1 point. So this is definitely a strategy that you can try to utilize. Is my goal is to win game 1 and then draw to make sure I, basically lead in the series. But we're going to start seeing the Lion Sash start eating things from the graveyard. So let me take a look at your graveyard. What do I want to start eating? Let's start getting rid of the Might. Let's get rid of the Might. Let's attempt to Solitude here. Counterspell it. So, utilizing the cards in hand, helping out, keeping things going. Still man available, of course, to use that Martyr Sands, which will probably be used here. Because there's, well, you could always buy a turn if you wanted to, but 7 damage coming across here. But let's do some blocks and gain some life. Ooh, he doesn't reveal off the Martyr. Just kind of absorbs the hit, throws him in the way there. So loses 2 extra life off the 1 ring. Let's draw 3 cards now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 more planes and you're good to go. There it is. So Mira is online now. So that the clock has now struck midnight. It's time for creatures to start returning. Now you have to worry. There is Lion Sash to start eating them, but you've got to look into getting ways to delay yourself. Find an answer for the Lion Sash here. So 1 ring going to be replacing itself. Allow you to reset it. Of course, it is legendary, so you can keep the one that has no counters. Draw a card. Lion Sash going to go. What's he going to eat here? Yeah, Ranger Captain. Nice choice. Eat a Solitude, probably. Eat another Solitude. I think we're getting close to time now, based on how long the match has been going on. Yep, active player turn 0. There's that 1 dice in the center there. Demolition. Blow that up. Let's float a mana. Let's go get a basic. Nine life left. It's not over and done with, though. Really, it's our control player's job now is to sit here and try to end the game, right? Yeah, they moved the dice out the way. That's fine. We'll see. Draw 2 cards. What is our Martyr player able to do here? He's got 8 life. If you can find a Martyr of Sands and it sticks, it basically like hard resets again. Field of Ruin doesn't really matter too much at this point. Yeah, let's like... I don't know where we're on turns. I wasn't paying enough attention, guys. I got distracted. But it's going to be a tough spot to be in for our Martyr life player. But they've got to basically, draw into a way to delay, and that is one of the ways to do it. Try to stick with a Solitude. Ooh, a Dress Down is going to be nice. Basically saying, hey, your Solitude does nothing. Yes, it resolves. It's a 3/2. Swing in with these. Throw my Solitude in the way of your Lion Sash. Take 4, go to 4. Counterspell. Take 4. That dies. Dress down is gone at the end of the turn. Go to 2. Oh my gosh, I think he's one turn short. So without, like, because it's more blue white than it is, I don't know, it's almost like a blue white equipment control. Instead of having things like Bolt to help close out the game or things like that, you just play, all right, I'll draw 3 cards. I just have to stay alive. I mean, the Lion Sash did so much work here. Another one of our clues. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. It's a blocker. Ranger Captain. Go find another blocker. Find what? Kami of the False Hope. To really make sure that we can stay alive. Let's see. Show me the Kami. Nope. Martyr. Oh, okay. There we go. That makes sense. Be able to activate Martyr, gain 20 life or something crazy, and then be all set. Let's see. All right, so there was our Martyr of Sands to just kind of make sure we can close out this game with 1,000,000 life again, essentially here. The Martyr of Sands is like crazy of how it just turned the tide of it. But it only works so well in this sort of shell because you're able to utilize things like, the One Ring and these ways to draw cards and do all these things. And like, it's like, all right, what are you going to eat? Let's see, eat some more stuff. Lion Sash has been the MVP of the matchup for sure. It's not enough to win the game out, sadly. March the Otherworldly Light. Let's get rid of it. Exile it. Yeah, there it is. There's the handshake. There's a... Oh, man. Now the players are grabbing cards, going through it. That was tough. Like, it really just is one of those, delay decks as much as possible. If I can just delay as long as possible, I'll be able to keep you from doing what you want to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a little bit of different decks here. We are going to be looking to having deck lists available in the future. It's going to be a little bit, so stick with us as well. If you like the stuff, please consider subscribing, following, all that good stuff. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in and watching, y'all, and I'll see y'all next game.